Everyone, so today we are heading to an area in Wiltshire called the Pewsey Vales. Luckily for myself, it's not too far away from where I live, so it's just a short drive. The weather today, it's okay. The clouds are a bit patchy. There's a little bit of blue sky around as well. Not much light at the moment, but hopefully that will change as we get some sun break through the clouds. What we're really looking for today, not sure, to be honest, not 100%. Going out with a really open mind. I think sometimes when you go out with landscape photography, you can literally go out with such a preconceived idea of what you're looking for that actually you miss some shots that are out there because you're looking for that picture that you had in your mind. And that's absolutely fine. If you've got a shot in mind that you want to get, by all means, go out there and get that shot. Just be mindful that you don't always be blinkered by that shot itself. So today I'm absolutely going out with a completely open mind, just to see what's out there. I'm hoping that we're going to get some dramatic sunlight come across the countryside as the sun moves across through the afternoon. But if not, then we'll look for some movement in the skies. We'll look for some objects for compositions within the landscape as well. And aside from that, if nothing else, we'll go out, we'll have a lovely walk. I'll take you along with me and we'll see what we find. So here we are. We've arrived at our second location. The first location I wanted to go to, sadly the car park was just rammed, literally. Probably about 30 cars in it. Just nowhere to park on that one there. I might try it on the way back, but for the time being we've just continued a bit further down the road towards a little town called Marlborough. We've come up on top of the hills around the Marlborough Downs. It's a beautiful part of Wiltshire, lots to explore. So as I was driving up, I did notice that there's some light coming through the clouds as well over the countryside, but it is fleeting at the moment. So we're going to see if we're lucky, if we can catch some of that along with something nice foreground kind of composition as well. But if not, I said it'll just be a lovely walk, but we'll go and see what we can find and hopefully we'll get a shot. Let's go. As you can see, that sky over there is looking absolutely insane at the moment. So we're just literally going to take a walk a bit closer to it. We're going to go down into the valley a bit. There's a rock formation down there called Devil's Den, which I think will give us a really good kind of foreground composition for that sky in the background. And then we're just going to play around with some settings, which I'll talk you through as well as we're doing that. And hopefully from there we'll be able to catch an image. So I'll speak to you soon. As we've been walking along, we've come across this tree here, okay, which is a nice sole tree on itself. Actually, if you look around though, there are literally a couple of trees in the background there as well. You see a couple of nice ones, but the sky has definitely got more interest in this direction over here. So we've set the camera up. We're going to wait for the sky to do its thing, just wait for that sun. At the moment it's a little bit bright, as you can see from the highlights there on the video there, but it is disappearing behind the clouds every so like now and again. So we're just going to wait and see if it does that a little bit. Providing it does, it's just soften that light a little bit, just diffuse it a little bit, which will then allow us to get a picture, hopefully, of this sole tree here with a dramatic sky in the background. What I'll do is I'm just going to set the camera up, take a couple of test shots, and then once I've got the settings right, I'll then bring you back and I'll talk you through the settings of the image we're going to get. Speak to you soon. Okay, so we have our composition set up, and I don't know if you can see it just there, just literally above the tree there. We've got this lovely little tree here all by itself, but just above it, obviously this is being recorded on an iPhone, so it might not be so great, but you'll see it in the final image. I think there's that lovely bit of lighting just going above the tree, so that's just going to give some real nice contrast. So it's a real simple image, the tree, the sky with the sun there. I think it's just going to highlight that tree beautifully. Now the tree isn't actually directly lit by that sunshine, but that doesn't matter for me in this one. I think for this one it's all about the drama that's created around the tree and the sense of that tree being in isolation with so much happening around it. So on the camera at the moment, so I'm shooting with the Nikon D810. I've got a landscape polarizer on there just to help reduce a little bit of that glare in the sky. I've also got a 0.9 ND soft grad on there as well. Now I use Lee filters, so I'll just show you around here. So you can see here, we've got the Lee filter system there. So that's just literally on the camera on the front there. I'll talk you through all the gear as we go through bits and pieces, but that's just a little walk around of the setup. I've got the 24-70 on at the moment, and that's currently around 35 that's set at. My shutter speed is, I'm going to go through that about 1/120th of a second, I think, and then ISO is around 64, which I tend to always shoot if I can on the Nikon D810, and then f9 to f11. This one is currently set to f9 at the moment as well. So I'm just going to play about with this, see what kind of image we can come out with, and then if it's any good, I'll show you here in a minute. I am on my way down to Devil's Den, but this tree, I've just come to it from the other side as well, and there's all this cloud up here. You can see that there. It's just trying a different composition of this one. So I'll put the camera a little bit lower. Reason being is I want to keep the trees you can see there away from the horizon so that it stands out on its own and above those trees over there, rather than if I bring that up, you'll see it starts to blend into the horizon there. So it's really important just to look for that separation there. Just seeing what we can do with these clouds up here as well. Again, we've got the Big Stopper 10 stop filter on. We've got the polarizing landscape on as well. And we've also got a ND grad on as well, just to reduce a bit of that brightness in the sky as well. At the moment it's just doing its thing, so it's on a 90-second exposure. As you can see, there's no one around, which is fantastic. I did just speak to a cyclist who's literally traipsing across the countryside. We had a little chat about photography, which was nice. And it's always nice when you're out and about to meet people like that. In a minute, we are going to go down here. This over here, that is Devil's Den down there. So we're going to have a little walk down there, and we're going to still use that sky over there, which you can still see has got some light and some colour in it. And we're going to use that just to give a bit of interest to Devil's Den, which is in the foreground. This one's got about 15 seconds to go. So again, if this one's any good, I'll pop it here for you. So we made it down to the Devil's Den. Here it is. I'll post a link below with some history behind it if you are interested in that kind of thing as well, because it has got quite an interesting history to it. But as you can see, as so often happens when you've got a 25-minute walk or so to get to where you want to go, the sky has changed a bit. So we've still got these clouds, which are interesting and fantastic, but the light, not so much. However, look, there's this band over here. So we'll wait and see what happens with that and see if any sun comes out of that as well, which it may do. If not, I think we're going to go for a long exposure shot. We're going to get some movement going in those clouds above the rock. I'm thinking already maybe a black and white image, so like a mono with lots of drama. So make Devil's Den really kind of black and dark, and then this light sky in the background there with this even lighter band of sky but no cloud along there, just to give it some real kind of contrast. Not sure if that will come out yet. Just going to work on the composition first. Once I've got that, I'll be back. Okay, so just been waiting for the sky to develop a little bit, and as you can see, we've got some lovely textures in the sky now as well. Got the composition set up. Going to go for a long exposure on this one just to get some movement in that sky as well, as we haven't got a lot of dramatic light in, but we have got some lovely textures up there as well. So going to play about, they're going to do one where it's not a long exposure, so we keep that texture, and then we're going to do one which is a long exposure just to see what it does to that. Okay, so at the moment, again on the camera, we've got a Lee polarizing filter, we've got the big stopper, we've got the ND.6 on this one, soft grad. We've got it set into bulb mode, so I can do a 90-second exposure to start off with, and then we've got it set to f10 as well. So we'll see there, ISO at 64 as always. So we'll take the shot. Any good, we'll post it here. So got that shot in the bag, really happy with that it's turned out. Had to play about quite a bit with the exposures on it, just because where we've got this bright patch of sky over here, got this cloud over here, obviously not much light on the front of the rocks as well. So luckily the D810 has quite a good dynamic range, so it's enabled me to capture a lot of detail. Also shooting raw as well, which obviously always helps, because then I can pull the detail out in Lightroom later on as well. So now we're going to take a walk back. Over on the horizon over here, there is a little bit of colour, and you'll see these trees just at the top here. So we're going to take a walk back towards them, see if that light's still there when we get up there. If it is, we'll maybe look for a bit of a silhouette-y kind of image, just something simple to finish the day off. Couple of shots in the bag, I think. Looking forward to showing them to you later, providing obviously they come out in Lightroom. We all have those days where occasionally it looks good on the back of the camera, but when you get it back in the Lightroom, you're not in love with it as much as you were maybe when you're out in the field. So looking forward to that anyway. It is freezing out here. It's about 2 degrees, I reckon. So going to get my gloves back on, start to make a move back to the car, but we'll see if we can't catch one more shot before we do. So I said at the beginning of the video that sometimes you have to go out and shoot with no actual idea in mind of what you're shooting. That's been the case today. So I had one location in mind where I wanted to start, got there, car park was full, couldn't park up, so just kept on driving really, and then found another location. And then when I got here, I knew there was maybe one composition to have. The sky definitely helped with that today. But then as I was driving around, I found a couple more compositions which, to be honest, I've never seen before. And sometimes it's just about getting out there. And I think the biggest thing you can do to improve your photography, above everything else, above learning your camera settings, above buying more gear, above actually reading all the manuals, the biggest thing you can actually do is just get out with your camera. If you get out with your camera, you will become a better photographer without doing anything else. 100% guarantee you that, because you'll take photos, you'll think about what you've taken, you'll look at them, you'll decide what you like, what you didn't like, and next time you go out, you'll do it even better. Yes, in between, get to know your camera, read books, watch YouTube tutorials, decide what type of photography you really like, play about with compositions, settings, etc. But the biggest thing you need to do is get off the sofa, get outside, take your camera, as I said, and you will ultimately become a better photographer through doing that. So we're almost back to the car. It's quite a slog from down there, so a little bit out of breath, plus carrying this on my back. It's not the lightest, but a great day. Said the light has really dropped quickly, as has happened at this time of year normally anyway. So we've actually got, well, we've got some light in the background there, but I think the camera probably makes it look a little bit better than it actually is. Definitely not that orange when you look at it without the camera. So yeah, going to go back now. I think it's been a good day overall. Hope you have liked it. Any feedback you have at all, in case you can't tell, this is my first vlogging video. So been on Instagram for a little while, post a link to my account below, Facebook as well, but never really gone onto YouTube. But I've been inspired some fantastic photographers out there, so the likes of Tom Heaton, Simon Baxter, Nigel Danson, Owen Clark, Henry Turner as well. All fantastic photographers. So if you get a chance, check out their channels. I'll post a link to their channels below as well. But if you do like what you've seen and you'd like to see more, feel free to give this a like, little thumbs up. Press the subscribe button. I'll pop that up there as well. But until next time, I'll see you soon.
God lost my soul.